Welcome again to Monday afternoon. Things have gone kind of smooth. I did have a little rough patch, but I told you about that in last episode up at the beginning of the day. Yeah, I'm missing all my stuff. But since then, everything has gone well. I did have a little bit of an issue with my DOT compliance officer because she had told me that I have been violating the rules every day that I use yard move. Now I don't know. I don't know. If you want to get real specific, if you want to hire a lawyer to explain some stuff, I don't know. It's kind of vague. It says if it's accessible by a public road, you are not allowed to use yard move. Now, if it's behind a closed gate with special access, that doesn't sound like it's on a private road. It's, you can't just pull over on the side of the road and use yard move. But if you have to sign in and pull behind a locked gate, and then and for the people that don't understand the DOT stuff I'm talking about here, most drivers probably know about this. If you're using an electronic logging device, um, you're allowed to sign in and start driving, but before you hit 8 hours worth of driving, you have to take a 30-minute break. And I might have said that a little bit wrong, but it still alludes to the same thing. If you drive for 8 hours, you got to be quick on the button because you don't want to go 8 hours and 1 minute or 8 hours and 20 seconds. You don't want to fuck it up because you go into violation, even though it should be pretty explainable to an officer. He's like, listen, I missed it by a few seconds. Write me up. But where I go, I sit and I wait. I show up out here and I sit and I wait. And I could sit anywhere from 10 minutes to we've had somebody sit out here for 10 hours. You don't know how long you're going to sit. You have no idea. You can ask them, you can call them, you can try to get ahead of it. They don't know how long you're going to sit and wait. They don't know. And if they do know, they ain't going to tell you because they don't want to be wrong. They don't want to give anybody no false promises. Like, oh yeah, give us 30 minutes, we'll pull you in. Okay, cool. I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to go on duty and do my 30-minute rest break. No. I pulled in. I sat for 10 minutes, but this is where the yard move comes into play, where I'm here. I'm at the facility. I'm waiting. They're gonna call me in, and then I'm gonna go. I got to get on a scale, and then I park again. But if I move the truck with just being on duty, it will clock me back in. Now, I had 20 minutes to make a decision whether I was going to just say, nope, I cannot move for 30 minutes, or I was going to go on to yard move. And it would log my 30-minute rest break, whether I moved the truck or not. I'm sitting in the truck. I am not on a public road. I am not furthering the load. Also, that's another thing. They don't want you furthering the load during your break time. I'm there. I'm here. I'm on site, but I'm not furthering the load. The load has made it to where it needs to be. It just needs to move on private property. So, I mean, don't take your DOT advice from me, but if you do have some DOT advice, or maybe you look at it a different way, you can let me know down in the comments. I will look at it and tell you. But I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do, and it's gonna be fine because that's how we used to do it. We have several jobs where like you get to a facility and you get in a line, and that line is moving forward every 5 minutes or whatever. So you get there to the facility, you are logged in, and then even if you're just on duty, any movement with that truck, it will say you were driving, and it will kick you out of your break and put you back on duty, and then it'll restart your 30-minute clock, which sucks. So, but if you use the yard move, it'll work. But anyways, my DOT compliance officer, this was a couple of months ago. She said, "Oh, yard move is only allowed on property that your company owns." I said, "No, I don't think so. I think it means anytime you're not on the road. You know, anytime you're not really on the road, like if you're, but I guess it does qualify, or it doesn't qualify for truck stops, which also is fucking bullshit, man. You pull into a truck stop, you want to go on duty, you want to get your 30-minute break going. Technically, you are, I guess, on duty still if you're fueling up the truck and then moving to a parking spot. But I mean, if you do your 30-minute rest break at the fuel island, you're going to get punched in the face. You're gonna have somebody get behind you, especially at a busy one. And, there are some that are not very busy, or you can pull forward and you can sit there for a while. But if you're blocking somebody in, and I've been blocked in, I've wanted to fucking beat the shit out of one. There's one guy. Well, he did his a little bit different. This fucking guy, me and him were both waiting for an fuel island to open up at a Quick Trip. One opened up and he pulled forward. He took it, parked his truck, locked the door, got out, and walked across to a mini mall and went into a sit-down restaurant. Make that make sense. That's a fifth wheel pull right there. That's a grease under your doorknob deal right there. That's a snap off your valve stem situation. That's a fucking squeegee through your windshield moment right there. Do you know how fucking irate I was when the only open spot, and it was ridiculous. It was a smaller truck stop, but they had truck bays, and there were probably like 6 bays. Every single bay was full, and I think only one guy was using the fuel. Everybody else was just sitting there, going in, trying to order some food at a Quick Trip. I don't know. And then you had this fucking guy. He almost got murdered. He doesn't even know how close he got to getting murdered. I didn't do anything because I'm not that type of guy. But brother, he's lucky he had me and not some of these other fucking. You have a bull hauler behind you, you might as well just pull around. Just pull around and come back later. You don't want to piss off a bull hauler. Those guys are they will fuck your ass up just thinking about it. You know, I don't want to get in the way of a bull hauler. I ain't really a bitch, slightly, but I ain't gonna fuck around with no bull hauler. I'll tell you that right now. Those guys, first off, no sympathy for anything or anyone. Maybe their own family. But that's about it. Those fucking guys cattle prod uh, living animals to their fucking death. You know how that's gotta fucking fuck with you a little bit. You're like, all right, I just hauled these cows, through 110-degree weather in the sun. They haven't had drinks or anything. It's been hours. They've been on the road, and now we pull into this place, and then I'm gonna zap them until they get off the fucking truck, and there's gonna be some dead ones in there. Well, maybe I don't know about cows, but I know I don't know how many cows. I'm sure there are several cows that die during transport, but I'm wondering how many. Well, I know there's a lot of pigs. A lot of pigs go down. I can't tell if this cop pulled over another cop or it's just an SUV. I don't know. It's just an SUV. They have red hooks. They were speeding in the school zone. You're in trouble. It's a 25-mile-an-hour school zone. I don't see it. I mean, I guess that's a school. That is a school. Just looks like a park. It's a tiny little town right here. Don't even know what town I'm in. Cleo Springs? Not sure. I've done this route so many times. But I don't know like any of the towns except for the ones that I do my turn and burn at. Headed to Wichita. I got my hotel set up. Headed up that way. Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Following the guidelines for ELD can be construed to whoever you're talking to. Whoever you're talking to, they can make it seem this way or that way. They try. I don't know if they leave it vague on purpose. I don't know, but you talk to one person, they say, "Oh yeah, that's fine." Then you talk to another person, they're like, you'll get butt fucked in jail if you do that. You're going to the slammer. You falsified your log, is what you did. But anyways, I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know, this specific day on this specific job. I don't know. Technically, I probably had enough time that I could have, because I get there and I want to call and check in as soon as possible, so I don't have to sit there and wait for too long. Because if other people pull in, they're going to go ahead of you. I could have pulled in there, started my 30-minute break. Whenever it gets down to like 25 minutes or whatever, go ahead and call, say, "Yo, I'm here," and they'll be like, "Yeah, we know. We've been watching you sit out there. What the hell's going on?" Um, and then I can explain myself after that. But sometimes they're like, if they say they stop taking offloads at 2:30. If you don't get clocked in or checked in by 2:30, you ain't. They don't give a fuck. They're like, "Oh yeah, we're fucking closed." You're like, "It's 2:31." They're like, "Yeah, well, you should have called it 2:29." Because technically, if you call it 2:30, it's past 2:30. It's 2:30 and 45 seconds. Okay? You done fucked up. And their clocks are probably set a little bit behind, too. You don't want to fucking do that. You don't want to fuck around with these people. They don't give a shit. And then if I get stuck with a load, then I gotta drive an hour away and get a hotel super early in the day. That draws my fucking time down and then makes tomorrow just that much worse. And I've had that happen where they're like, "Yeah, we just can't have you. You're too late." The only time it ever really actually works is whenever you call like early in the morning, like right as they open up. You're like, "Yo, I'm going to be pushing my time to get there. If I don't get there by 2:45, consider me showing up tomorrow." I don't know. Then I also got to deal with, my ass still. My ass actually has been perfectly fine. This whole drive, I can tell that my ass is damaged still, but it has not been hurting at all. And I have not been, I haven't strained it anymore than I would on like a couch, you know. So I'm doing all right. But I took the advice of several people. Instead of using uh, sick time or PTO, whatever you want to call it, at work for the week that I took off, because I have 2 weeks available. I have plenty of hours that I could take off because it rolls over and I don't take time off a lot. I was like, I'll just use PTO just so I don't have to deal with, like, I can just enter PTO and then, I won't have any gaps in my pay and whatever. I already kind of told everybody I don't plan on taking a vacation this year. This year, no vacations unless they're like over the weekend, maybe take a Friday off. I'm not taking a week off this year. Um, but I got injured and I had to take a week off. So I had a lot of people, well, a couple of people tell me I should use the disability, the short-term disability that I pay for. I pay for it out of my work through a company called MetLife. I said, cool. I'll use disability then. Am I gonna get paid less? They said, no. You'll make 100%. I said, okay. Am I gonna have gaps in my pay? They said, no, 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 no. You'll be fine. And then I submit my claim and I get everything filled out and I thought everything was taken care of. And then I find out today that they're like, oh, if you haven't gotten notice, if you haven't got the notice yet, your doctor hasn't submitted the forms. And I'm like, God damn it, man. And I'm driving a truck. I don't have time. I don't have time to take a legal 30-minute break. I don't have time to make a phone call to the fucking doctor's office. I can't pull over and read emails. I can't try to find the fucking phone numbers and shit. You call the doctor's office, they want, press 1 for English. Press 2. All right, 1. What do you want? Tell me what you want. And it's like, oh, I don't understand you. Select from these fucking prompts or whatever. And then it's like, oh, yeah, the wait time is an hour and a half. And you're like, God damn it! Son of a bitch. So you hang up and you call back. You remember the buttons to hit. Then you just hit 0. And it's like, all operators are busy, blah, 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 blah. You're like, son of a fucking bitch, dude. Trying to make a phone call? I mean, motherfucker, it's not working. So, I don't know. I was trying to get my wife to do that, and I think she did it. I don't know. I'll find out when I get to the hotel, because I'm not like behind on my clock right now, but I'm going to have like an hour's worth of time, and I need that. I'm going to stop and grab some dinner before I get to my hotel. I'm going to need that hour. Just in case something happens. I don't want to be stranded with no drive time because I decided to call this fucking doctor when I got somebody at home to get to it. I don't know. Just a little bit of stress here and there, I'm glad, am I happy about it all? Would my life be better if I wasn't stressed about a few different things right now? Probably, but the stress gets you going, kind of gets you, it makes you feel normal again. After being off and being just a lazy bum for 11 days, it's kind of nice to feel alive again. Feel like I'm part of something again. Feel like I'm back in the saddle. That's where I'm at. I'm back in the fucking saddle, motherfuckers. Yeah, no time, no time for things to just go perfectly and smooth. Let's get a little bit of let's see what I want to see what you feel like is what life is doing. It's just like no, you need to feel something. You can't just be going around just happy go lucky. Um, Switching gears, my brother got a job. Didn't know that until earlier. That's awesome. He does not work with me or our other brother, but my dweller brother. I don't know what to call him. He's just like some sort of a warlock. Um, he got a job. Happy. What the fuck are you? Almost hit a fucking shed or something. That almost happened before. Almost hit a goddamn shed on a fucking truck. They're driving. This one didn't have siding on it. I don't know what the hell it was. It was just like a wood frame of something, and it's all fucking leaning into my lane. Anyways, he got a job. I'm super happy he got a job. He doesn't start for a week or so probably, but he got a job not with me. I'm thinking that's for the better. My mom called me. She's like, "Yeah, well, you sabotaged him, at your work." I'm like, "No, I did not." She's like, "You told you're being the way you normally are with your brother at work." I'm like, "I don't think I sabotaged him. But it's hard for me to not. It's hard for me to defend somebody whenever he's like, "Oh, I applied to be an ASE mechanic at your job." And I'm like, "You're not an ASE mechanic, you dumb motherfucker." He's like, "Well, I can figure it out." I'm like, "What? No, you don't just figure out how to be a mechanic on semi-trucks." He's like, "I could rebuild an engine." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up. No, you cannot." I'm like, "If you go to school, maybe, but there's no fucking way." I'm like, "What are you doing?" I was like, you are not gonna be paid $35 an hour to be a diesel mechanic at my work. You're gonna get paid $20 an hour to swim through the pig guts in a full face respirator and suit, and it's gonna be hot and stinky. And it's going to feel like the day is never going to end. And guess what? You're going to have to do the same motherfucking thing tomorrow. And on the weekend. You'll never have time, You're not going to get what you want. And, I mean, he's like, "Yeah, I applied to be a forklift mechanic." I don't want to talk shit on him, but I'm just like, come on, brother. But I think he got another warehouse job. It's going to be great. That's where he thrives. Man, I did have an episode that anyways, round of applause for my brother. So happy for you. Things are going well. And, I might have talked, I'm only hurting myself, but I'm also might be doing all right. I added some things to the Amazon cart. I deleted a lot of stuff. I had like RC cars and stupid fucking bullshit in there. I just wanted to compare prices, is what I wanted to do. They're like RC 1/10 scale RC crawlers or whatever. I've always wanted a 1/10 scale, but yeah, they're expensive, and you can find cheap ones, and That's the problem. Is I'm like, "Oh well, I'll buy a cheap one, and then I'll just upgrade it." You know. Now I don't know, man. You can do that, but even the expensive ones, you kind of got to upgrade. They're not super duper strong straight away and good to go for everything. You know, they're kind of designed to break a little bit, and then you buy these upgraded parts. Or anyways, I deleted all that shit. Um, did I already talk about this? I don't think so. I got dirt bike tires. I got some Tusk D Sport 606. I don't 609, something like that. They're pretty. They look pretty good. They look pretty good. $150 for the 21-inch front and the 17-inch rear, because DR650s come stock with a 17-inch rear wheel, which is 1 inch smaller than every other dirt bike known to man. They're normally 18, so my uncle's bike, he's got the upgraded 18-inch rear wheel, so I don't know. It's not really that much. It's just harder to find a bunch of different style of tires, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, $150 I can get a set of tires. They're pretty aggressive looking, but they're also a pretty hard compound, so they should last a while on the road as long as you run them at a higher PSI, so you're not like wearing them out super fast. I don't know. But if you run them at a higher PSI, then you have less of a patch on the road, so it might wear out the center lugs pretty fucking quick. I don't know. But if I'm going to buy tires for my bike, I am not buying street tires again. Are you fucking with me? I mean, these tires, they did all right. I've taken the dirt bike off road, but if I hit anything a little bit slick or whatever, it was just glass is what it is. So even grass is rough. So I think I'm gonna get those. They're pretty aggressive looking. They're gonna be pretty nice. I might look to see if I can, you know, they have different sizes. I might be able to try to get a little bit bigger size. That might involve me trimming some of the lugs, which I'm not opposed to doing. If I can get a big ass tire on there, I'll trim the lugs a little bit just so it'll fit on the swing arm. And then the front tire, I'd like to get a bigger front tire, but I don't know. The bigger you go, the more you're going to be spending. And then, yeah, I'm not going to make that mistake again when it's $15 to fucking have them bitches mounted at the tire shop. So, and I bought a dirt bike lift, and there's a lot of different types of dirt bike lifts out there. There's a ride-on one that you ride over this bump, and then it lands on this little like hinge type thing, and then it lifts it up, and then you just have like a little arm you push down with your foot, and then it lifts the bike up the rest of the way. There's another one it's literally just a dirt bike stand, just a generic dirt bike stand. I would like to say those are made for motocross bikes. It's the motocross bikes are pretty fucking light, and you can just grab the back handle and lift that bitch up. A DR650 is a lot fucking heavier. I can lift up the back wheel and control the handlebars. I can do that, but I can't lift it up that fucking high. Are you crazy? And whenever you try to like lean it over, and you're trying to like use your knees to kind of pick it up and then get it on the stand, and then if you don't get it on the stand perfectly straight, the fucking thing might fall over, and you got to get centered and everything. It's just a pain in the fucking ass. So I think I'm going to order this other one. It's a lift one, so you just slide it under the bike, and then it's got like a one pump lever that just it lifts up to a certain height, and it locks in place. And that's what I think I want that. It's got a higher weight limit. It's a little easier to use than any of these other ones, and They do have some that are like a bottle jack. You can just like slowly jack it up, but I think that's the one I want to go with. Is this one? You can like set the pre height lift amount or whatever, and then you got the one lever. You just push that lever down, and it lifts the bike up. As long as I can get both tires up off the ground, I I think that's what I'm going to need. And then what else did I add to that list? Oh, a voltmeter. I don't have a fucking voltmeter. I've never had a voltmeter. I've just used test lights. And test lights are usually like a spare light bulb for a fucking car. And I just tape some wires to it and I stick it on some things to see if I'm getting power to certain circuits. I've had a couple of test lights that have like a little alligator clamp, but sometimes that doesn't fucking work. Sometimes you want to test out a fuses and shit. And these I just have like little solid copper wire. I think it's from a telephone, like a telephone wire or line or whatever. It's just got solid copper lines, and then that's what I have at home right now. I have a light bulb for a 2014 Chevy Equinox, electrical taped with some wires from a phone line. And that's what I've been using for a very long time to test circuits to see if they're good or not. But sometimes I got batteries and shit. I want to see if these batteries are charging, which just now reminded me I need to call my wife and tell her to unplug that battery. Just remembered that. Yeah. All right. Yeah, just had to make a quick phone call right there. But yeah, I was working. So I talked about doing a gas engine swap on my son's dirt bike, but luckily I hadn't taken it apart very far. So I decided to just put the battery back in there, and I might do a battery swap, some sort of a battery swap on that thing. I got this. I don't know if it's the right idea, but it's a 40-volt LiPo battery for an electric weed eater. That my electric weed eater is fried. It smells like just burnt grass whenever you try to turn it on and it starts smoking and shit. So I got this big ass battery and a nice battery charger, and I have two weed eaters that I can use. I can use the trigger assembly and stuff for it. So I'm thinking I might try to incorporate that to this little electric dirt bike, or just get a replacement battery. Just make it easy. But it would be cool because with the weed eater you can go slow and fast. With the dirt bike, the twist handle is just on and off. So I don't know. You don't want to put a 40-volt battery on your son's dirt. That thing's gonna take the fuck off. But if he can ease on it, maybe that'd be good. Or I can put like some sort of a limiter on there. I don't know. I'm just fucking talking here. I do have another episode. I'm not gonna do it today. I got another episode that I'm gonna put out. It's gonna be another story, but not a real story. It's gonna be I don't know, pretty interesting thing. I talked to Shane Has Tattoos, old Shane from the Outback. Talked to him a lot the other day over Facebook. I said, do you guys have fucking milk in a bag over there? What are you guys doing? Kilometer, meter, liter? What the hell are y'all doing over there? And he said, no. And I looked it up. Canada is about the only place that does milk in a bag. I mean, I guess there are some other countries here and there, like Romania, I think does it. They're weird. But Canada is about the only place that does the milk in a bag. I am interested in milk in a bag, though. I would like to purchase milk in a bag. Uh, they have a special, like, little, it's like a pitcher, but you just put the bag in the pitcher, and then you can go water your garden with your bag of milk or something. I don't know. I'm not Canadian. I also, I don't know. I did look at old Jason sent me some pictures and stuff about it because I asked him about the milk in the bag thing. And but anyways, I know here just recently. Oh, and Jason, he's from Broken Wing Nuts, Backroad Friends, that guy. Shane has tattoos. I don't know Shane's name. Shane has tattoos is his name, and he got a couple of counties over here, County Mountie. They're looking to pull somebody over. I think. Don't pull me over, buds. Old Shane that has tattoos. Literally, they're from head to toe. I was talking to him about all kinds of stuff. I was like, "Hey, man, you ever heard of summer knots?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, I have." I'm like, cool. you know, it's like a burnout competition that they have in Australia, and they have like blown methane, badass fucking cars. That sorry, somebody's walking across the road here, and I don't want to run them over. And there's also somebody over here in hot pants. Hot pants. All right. Anyways, talking to Shane about some stuff. We talked for hours that night. I wish I did a recording with him, but with international calling, it's kind of weird and shit. So I don't know. I don't know. The Canadian guys found that out the hard way. I was like, yeah, give me a call. They called me, and it cost them $50 on their phone bill for an international phone call for an hour. So now we got to do it over Facebook Messenger, and I can't record Facebook Messenger calls. I mean, maybe there's a way. There, every other podcast out there doesn't just use their cell phone. They use machines and operations and whatnot, and editing and stuff. Me, I'm lucky if I can get my fucking clipped parts put together in the correct fucking order and remember what the hell I talked about in an episode. Or remember even post the motherfucker. But no, Shane was like, hey, man, I want to hear another story. I'm like, all right. We'll do another story next episode. I'm going to try to do that. That'll be Tuesday. This one's coming out Tuesday morning. So I'll have a Tuesday, or Tuesday afternoon I'll record something. Or Tuesday at some point in time I'll give you guys a good one. You guys are gonna like. I liked the last time I did one of those. It was like the alien takeover, alien invasion. 3IA Atlas has landed or whatever. Remember that fucking thing? That fucking thing is fucking just boomeranged off into the fucking solar system. She's gone. She came around the sun and bling, she's gone. And it was a weird looking fucking thing, but that thing's fucking gone. I hope it's gone. I don't know. I can't see that far. But from some scientist guys, some old nerds, they said it. They just quit talking about it. Really, we got a whole bunch of other bullshit in the news, though. I mean, I don't. I've really been doing my best to just be an observer of the things coming out, and I really don't want to comment on anything publicly. I don't really want to comment on what the fuck is going on. It's kind of a grab your popcorn and just kind of wait, because everybody else is into the news right now. So I'm just going to kind of sit back and wait. I don't know if I'll ever come out with an opinion on some shit. It's like, I don't know if we'll ever know the real truth of anything ever. And I could be talking about 20 different things right now. There's so many things going on. I just want to, if you guys want to know my opinions, just go listen to Dave Smith over at Part of the Problem. And I mainly listen to him. I think he is the most sane commenter in the podcasting world that's out there right now. But I don't know. I don't know. There might be some things I disagree with. Would I debate Dave Smith? Fuck no. Would I ever go against anything Dave Smith says and try to have some sort of a debate with him? No. It'd be good enough if I could just get on there and say, yep, I agree. It sounds good. I mean, debating anybody on some shit. I'm not an expert on anything other than forklift operation. Okay, I'm a forklift operator. I can operate the fuck out of a forklift. Okay? I can operate a lot of things pretty fucking good. But the one thing that I'm sure of is I can run a goddamn forklift better than anybody in the entire world. Okay? I'm the best forklift operator that's ever been. That's the only thing I'm 100% gonna put me on. Forklift, you know. I'm a truck driver. I drive this truck. I've fucking wrecked one. Okay, I've fucking wrecked one. I've misoperated some machinery before. I like to drive my pickup truck too. Have I missed a gear before? Yeah. Have I? I don't know. I don't know. I tried to fly a kite the other day. I've flown a kite before, but I broke the string and I retied it, but I tied it too short. Now that motherfucker, I just look like a fucking idiot out there in the middle of the street. My kids are just laughing in the yard while I'm spinning in circles. I'm like, "Is it flying?" They're like, "No, it's dragging on the ground." And I'm like, "Damn it!" I almost flew a kite the other day, but I fucked it up right at the last second too. I picked it up and I like let it fall a little bit, and then I snugged up the rope, and it just snapped the rope. The rope was gonna snap no matter what. But then I fucked it up. I'm just here talking now. You know, I don't. This is all coming up off of a whim now. I did take the kids on a bike ride. Not really. I mean, they rode bikes. That's for sure. We got two bicycles that were given to us from a couple other friends. Their kids grew up too big for them, and they're like the perfect size for my children right now. And I had to air up the tires and tighten up the handlebars and just make sure they're going to be safe for the kiddos to ride, and they're good to go. Both of my kids, they picked it up pretty quick. They were having trouble just with the pedaling action, and now they're doing pretty good with it. My son figured out, because I was like, you need to get behind the pedal and push it forward, because whenever you get the pedals in a complete vertical position, sometimes it is kind of hard to get without scooting forward or whatever. Their legs aren't long enough to touch the ground, really. So he's learned to put the pedal on top of his foot, and he can kind of get a little bit more leverage that way. And my daughter, she's doing good. They are just so cute. They are the cutest kids in the world. They are wonderful. My daughter has been on a tirade the last couple of days, though. Mom actually called me, not my mom, but their mama. Mama Bear called me about her earlier. She was begging for candy in the grocery store. My kid, she was one of them. She was the one. My kids are great, and they're perfect and beautiful and amazing. But today, one of them was screaming in the grocery store that she wanted some candy, and Mama didn't give it to her, which Mama usually breaks, especially if they get loud. She will break and just give whatever to them. Not Daddy, not Daddy. And she actually took the Daddy's approach today. She said, no, I did. I gave her no candy. We got home and she went to her room because of how she acted. But you're going to have that on these big jobs, You're going to have a little bit of crazy children. Uh-huh. Hey, I don't know. It's just weird. Parenting styles. Parenting styles are, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on anybody else's parenting style. I'm going to comment on my parenting style. I think I've spanked my son 1, maybe 2 times in his entire life. Other than that, I just got to snap my fingers or start counting. They're going to act right, and they're going to do what I need them to do. And they don't throw tantrums on Dad. Well, I guess my daughter did the other night. She was like, she's probably trying to get me to get her something in the bed, but I was like, no. And I'm not coming back in here. And did I? No. She threw a fit in her room until she eventually got tired and fell asleep. It was wonderful. I think it works. If there's actually something wrong, I can go in there and take care of it. But no, she's like, there's a bug in my room. I'm like, there ain't no bug in your room. I want water. My leg hurts. I'm like, hey, chill the fuck out. You are fine. Lay down and stay quiet. I love you. Night night. Don't wake up. I don't know. It works. You gotta be a little harsh with children sometimes. You can't just be super easy on them all the time. You gotta actually show them a little. They need to know where they're at and know when they're being unreasonable. My son, he's really good. He doesn't lie. My daughter's the one that lies, but my son, he will. What does he do that's bad? Not really anything. He gets super depressed if he doesn't get to play on my phone. And I'm like, brother, we are so lenient with screen time. You have no idea. I don't know what it is about my frickin' cell phone, but you have a VR headset, you have a tablet, you have a Nintendo Switch, we have a PlayStation Portal, we have a TV with remote, you have an Amazon Alexa, you have every toy you could ever want. Leave my phone alone. Like that, my phone is the only thing that he gets depressed about. If I say, no, well, you're not using it. I know. Neither are you. He just downloads a fuckload of games on there. But a lot of times I do give him my phone. So it's like I'm not a hard ass. You never get my phone. He gets my phone. I understand there's games on my phone he can't get anywhere else. I'm an Android guy. He don't want mom's phone. He wants dad's phone. Dad's phone is an Android. Android's better than iPhone. My son knows this. And he can figure out how to watch regular YouTube. I don't know. He likes this guy called I Show Speed or whatever. It's like his favorite dude in the world. It used to be Mr. Beast. Now it's I Show Speed. And I don't know, but I don't know. That I'm just like, dude, that's annoying as hell. Most of the time, whatever you're watching is just so annoying. It's just a bunch of people making screaming sounds with somebody watching, like doing a reaction video. I'm like, dude, turn this shit off. Or it's a grown man acting as a child. I don't like those at all. I don't like those at all. Brother, I have a couple of pet peeves when I get on social media. Maybe you guys got some social media pet peeves also. If somebody taps a box with their fingernails or just the tips of their finger, if they tap a box, block. You're blocked. And also, if people, men or women, if an adult dresses up like a child, or acts like a child, or just talks like a child, or does the high-pitched squeaky voice, or a lot of the filters, mainly the children, like if an adult is acting like a children on there, like there's one who's like, hey, puppy, he's like a cowboy guy, and he acts like he's a child, or I don't. But there's thousands of them. If you act like a child on social media, banned, blocked. Get the fuck off of here. I don't want to see that shit. And it did start to spread to like conspiracy theorists. I was just so full of conspiracy theories on my shit that I started blocking people, and a lot of them, they were like just like so many copycat accounts of the same people doing the same shit. It's like you can sit there and you can ban accounts for days, but you just can't get away from it. You know what I want to see? When I open up social media, I want to see Chevy trucks, Ford trucks, maybe clips from some of the YouTube channels or comedy people that I follow. That's what I want to see. I do want to see a couple of conspiracy theories, but not these fucking fake Nancy Drews or whatever they are. They're just like fucking middle-aged women with no life other than to make reaction videos as private investigator, journalist bullshit fucking things. It's like, get the fuck off of my fucking phone. Anyway, I don't know. I just got a couple of opinions. I just wanted to get them out there, And yeah. Do you agree? You could leave a comment. You could rate the show on Spotify. You could subscribe on YouTube. You don't have to, but you could. Okay? Adios! Keep all 18 down. Watch out for the next episode, because the next one I think it's gonna be a good one. I don't know what it's even gonna be about. but it's gonna be good because it's gonna be straight to entertainment and full entertainment. I ain't gonna be talking about nothing other than a story that I'm gonna come up with on the go. It's gonna be. It sounds pretty cringe when I'm trying to explain it, but I promise you it'll be awesome. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later.